7:30 p.m. Okay, for the people on the live stream, you wouldn't have heard me talking just then. I just realised I didn't have the mixer up. Okay, it's just gone 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. and 09:30 UTC. This is Victor Kilo 4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. I'll now change my call sign to VK4BAD for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's BADnet. Brought to you every Wednesday night at this time. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Current temperature out here in Faryiryland is 25.8 degrees. 67% humidity and 0 wind speed at the present time. Currently, for the ones who ain't aware, yesterday I tipped out 145 mil out of my rain gauge there yesterday. Around the area within a 50-kilometre radius or 55-kilometre radius of my QDH here. Jandowie is under flood. Oh, shivers. Warwick, no. Oh, crikey's, I can't remember the name of the town. But there is two towns close by which are definitely under flood. Warrego Highway, the last I heard of it, still cut off, and the Jandowie Dolby Road is at the moment cut off. Well, the Chinchilla Dolby Road via Jandowie is cut off. So yesterday when I went into town to Chinchilla, our normal waterways had, well, our first water crossing was 400 mil, and I reckoned it was if it was going up, it would be 600 mil by the time I came through. By the time I did come through, no, the water was dropping on my side, so it was only 300 mil. In depth. Stand by. Okay, I do not ask anyone who is listening or watching this one to, if you do see flooded areas, if you ain't in a proper vehicle which could withstand it, don't go in them. I won't cross a water stream if it's running fast or if it's over 600. In my earlier years, I did the Thompson River crossing, and that was 3 inches above the bottom of my windscreen. It was underwater. So there was a total bonnet, and the whole 3 inches of my windscreen was underwater. But I was in a proper four-wheel drive, and I knew the what my vehicle could do. But I only done that once. At that depth. Anyway, with that one there, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Listening for any call-ins, please call in.
Very good evening, Gary. That other town might be Warra. You were thinking of, I'm not too sure where that is. Is that near Chinchilla? Anyway, this is VK4 Echo Mike. VK4FAX. VK4 Mike Victor.
That station who tried just then, you broke up, and all I got was my clunks. VK4BAD. Okay, that station didn't quite catch there. You were unreadable when you come in. Try again. VK4BAD.
VK4.
Okay, it's a VK4. Then you dropped out. There, you're not quite making the repeater. Try with your Sussex there a couple of times there, over. Just your Sussex. We know you're a VK4 there, over. Sorry on that, got nothing at all. We'll try a bit later on there, but unfortunately got nothing at all out of that lot, just a couple of mic chunks. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta. To answer question, yes, it was Warwick, was the place I was thinking of. Yes, there've been that was totally underwater there as well. And yes, that's between Dolby and Chinchilla. For your information there, Merv. Okay, we've got VK4 Echo Mike, VK4FAX, and VK4 Mike Victor. Anyone else want to join the Wednesday night net? VK4BAD?
VK4IJP, good evening all.
Okay, we've got VK4IJP. Other than that, anyone else want to call in before we start the first round? VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard. And unfortunately, we know that it was a VK4, but we couldn't get his Sussex. He's just a little bit out of range of the repeater. So if you could bump your power up a little bit if you can, we'll try see if we can get you at the end of this round. We're going at the moment, we've got VK4, Echo Mike, Merv in Pittswood, VK4FAX, Don in Drayton, VK4 Mike Victor, Al in Dolby, and VK4 India Juliet Papa, Ian in Proston. Okay, final call before we start the first round. Anyone else? VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard. VK4 Echo Mike, over to you there, Merv. And yeah, Warra was the township I was thinking of. That's only 40 odd kilometres from me as the crow flies. There, it's actually closer to me. Warra's closer to me than what actually Jandowie is. But if I go by road, it's further away. VK4 Echo Mike, VK4 BAD. Over to you there, Merv.
Yeah, okay, roger that. VK4BAD with the group, VK4 Echo Mike. A very good evening to you all. Great to hear you all on there tonight. And if I don't come back on the next round, I'm waiting on a phone call. So if I get the phone call, it'll be my daughter. And my daughter likes to talk for a long time. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Rainfall here About 70 all up we got. And it's going to make a heck of a difference to the place. The grass has already come back and it's, you know, got green, but it's in clumps. It's not spreading or anything. But hopefully we might get some more and keep that grass on the move. I don't like going into winter with nothing on the ground here at all. You know, we've had a little bit of rain on and off, and then we've had days where it's, you know, about 40 degrees, and the grass really suffers. Yeah, okay. Gary, I sent you some information about Chatham Island. I don't know whether you've worked Chatham Island or not, but there was a doco last night about it, and it was very interesting, but unfortunately, even though amateur radio has been involved in the Chatham Island for many, many years, there was nothing at all came up about it. I was told that the Japanese were over there a little while ago. I actually worked them on their de-expedition, but I was told that they chucked some money in and got a shack built, and just a very basic sort of shack, and it's got the ham antennas on it. Any licensed amateur to use. I don't know any more information about that, but it'd be interesting to find out more about it. But unfortunately, they didn't go into it. There's a heck of a lot of beautiful and wonderful information on the web all about it, about amateur radio and, you know, Chatham Island itself. A bit like Pecan Island, or Pitcairn it is, not Pecan, Pitcairn Island. All right, on to you, Don. VK4FAX and the group, VK4 Echo Mike.
VK4 Echo Mike with the group, VK4FAX. Good evening, Gary, Merv, Al and Ian. Yeah, sitting here having my dinner, running late tonight, as usual. Just one moment. Decided to repeat on itself, but anyway, all good. Yeah, the rainfall, Gary, you similar to what we got here, sounds like it. And Merv is, yeah, about half of what you got, is about half of what Gary got. So it's that storm rain, I suppose. It's up and down. You just got to be under that cloud, you know. You wouldn't have wanted to been under the one that went down over the valley and through the northern parts of Brisbane. 300 mils in 3 hours. It would have done some damage somewhere. Yeah, got the mowing done today, and I'm guessing I'll probably have to mow again on the weekend, the way it's growing. Anyway, we've dropped it down and it's looking reasonable. It's about the area I'd mow here is about a 3 to 3.5 hour process, so but that's without the whippersnipping, and then I've got quite a bit of that to do, and some poisoning. I just noticed the bindies have raising their heads again after I give them a real hurry up there about 5 or 6 weeks ago. But there's obviously a patch here and there that I've missed, so looks like that's my job for the weekend. I'll pass it on to Al, VK4 Mike Victor, Al and Dolby, VK4FAX with the group.
VK4FAX and the group VK4MV. Thanks, Don. Evening, Gary, Merv, Ian, and yes, it's interesting the way the rain's going at the moment. It was, you know, we've got about 70 mil here, but a fair bit came down the mile, and I'm looking at the levels steady or falling, but the creek is actually coming up, so I don't think they were putting the figures in the right place on the VOM website. So I've got a niece and a partner who've got a house very close to the side of the mile, and they've got a high-set house, but a lot of stuff stored underneath. So at the moment, I've got 2 boats, a trailer, a 4-wheel drive, and a couple of compressors and various bits and pieces sitting in my carport, keeping them dry, or stopping them from getting their feet wet anyway. But they had water under the house, and they've very quickly washed it out as it dropped. So they got ahead of the cleanup. But I think the Patrick Street Bridge was still closed. I went into town and got it over the Charles Drew Bridge okay, but will be impassable on the Patrick Street Bridge and the weir of the Edward Street weir. So, but other than that, the yard is drying out, looking good. But as Don was saying, that the grass has raised its ugly head, so we'll have to have it chopped off. But the ground's still a bit soft for that, so I'll leave it for a few days, and we'll probably have sun for a couple of days, and that'll start to cure that problem. But I'll still have a couple of low spots where it'll remain muddy, so I'll avoid that. Other than that, doing okay for the moment. Getting closer to having the vehicle replaced. It's down to the purchasing department to go out and find it and get it set up and delivered. Hopefully they can find a pretty good copy of what I was happy to drive up until the 23rd of November. So anyway, and the hand recovery is doing quite well as with exercises, stretching, and now a little bit of weight training. So we're keeping to work on it. Interesting stuff. They gave me a putty, a certain consistency of putty to do pressure squeezing on, and that's amazing stuff. You roll it into any shape you like, put it back in the bottle, in the little jar, put the top on it, and come back later, and it's moulded itself back to the inside of the jar. So it's quite soft in that regard, but when you squeeze it, it's hard. Anyway, okay, round to Ian, VK4IJP, and the group VK4MV.
And there's the sponsor. Yeah, good evening, guys. How are yous all? Merv, Don, Al, and yeah, unfortunately the other fellow couldn't quite make it. Yes. The rain, yeah, we've had plenty of rain. The grass is growing. It really needs mowing. But my mower's only running on one cylinder, and it's taken forever to get a couple of new ignition coils. But when they arrive, I will certainly enjoy the extra power that it has to get through it. Chatham Islands, Merv, what channel was that special on? I just had a bit of a look on the internet. I can't see anything about a special, but I've got a funny feeling you might be moving on. But I'm just looking at them on the internet. Yeah, what an amazing sort of location. The island with a big lake in the centre of it. And that's what an amazing place. I've only just basically got to Google Maps and just having a look at it at the airport and that. But yeah, that looks like a incredible location. And also spraying the weeds. Yes, I've been out with the Canberra M today. Not so much binges, but this other plant that's got these horrible thorns in them, and they stick in the bottom of your boot, even in your car tyres. So, yes, the Canberra M's been out. We should get them good and proper because, well, they've been well watered and they're sort of growing, so got plenty of green leaf. So, hopefully that will do a good job. And I actually did some round up the other day along around the fence line. So, yeah, and I don't use it with the snipper, it just gets round up on it. So it fixes that. And Al, you, so you're busy playing with Play-Doh by the sounds of it. You're making dinosaurs or giraffes or elephants, then squashing them up again. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Me myself, I've only been playing with my dual band Yogi, which I'm got it all wired up. Got the gamma match on for the 6 metres. I've just got to get it on a pole and do a bit of a tune-up on it, then get it up on the roof of the deck. So it'll be about 6 metres high from the ground. So about 2 metres off the roof of the deck. So I'm hoping that will should work okay. But other than that, I'm quite happy with the construction of it, the way how it's all came together. I think it's back to Gary, and we'll see if anyone else is there, I suppose. VK4BAD in the group. This is VK4IJP.
VK4IJP, VK4 Golf Bravo Alpha Delta. Okay, before we fire off, is there anyone else want to join the Wednesday night net, VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard at the present time. Okay, general message that there is a club meeting on the 10th of February at the Maya Hall. Barbecue lunch afterwards. There is a $10 fee for the barbecue lunch, of course. For anyone, everyone is welcome. So we've got our meeting. It starts at 10 o'clock. Usually we gather there from about 9:30 for a 10 o'clock start on the meeting. This is, other than that, all my, around here, all my tanks are overflowing. My dams are overflowing. Stand by. VK4BAD return. Yeah, all my dams are overflowing, and my tanks. So, but then again, it's that time of the year where it is our wet season, and for what I've seen of it, we've had. We get a couple of years of a dry spell and a couple of years of a wet spell. I do recall when I first moved here, I was just coming out of a 7-year drought when I moved up to Faryiryland here. And then a couple of months after moving up here, we had something like about 500 mil in 3 weeks of solid rain, 230 odd mil in a day, and that was on the in the 2010-2011, mainly 2011, and then about 3 years later, in 2013, we had the same. Where we'll cut off, 2010-11 flood, we'll cut off for 3 weeks solid. In the 2013 flood, we'll cut off for just over a week and a half. So, we've had, warm ones and wet ones. So take your pick on it. There. Yes, the grass is growing. I've got to get on the ride on the next day or two, and fix that up. No, not fix it up, and cut the grass. For the ones who ain't aware, yes, my vehicle is back on the road. It was all back on the road last Thursday. Yesterday, tomorrow week back. Stand by. What was it? Last weekend was the first run up to Dark Creek with it. And, of course, yesterday I went into town. And for you there, Ian, my phone is back up and operational again. So they've must have fixed that cell tower. I was this wet weather we've been having lately has brought out the yearly ground fleas around my location. I don't know how many of you guys get that, but out here in Faryiryland we get the annual run of the pests, and it's either mice, and then we'll have something else. And of course we have the ground fleas. They come out every so often as well. So the last couple of days I've been pestered with ground fleas. So what I did yesterday when I went into town, I decided to bomb the place and locked the place, locked it up and opened up everything, and opened everything up. But I locked the place up, windows shut, the whole lot, bombed the place. I took off and went into town. Come back home yesterday afternoon, and stand by. VK4BAD returning. Opened up the door here, went around, opened up all the windows, and I noticed I started going into a coughing fit, and I realised that I could not inhale. So I quickly went outside, and I was still coughing and struggling to get breath. I had no phone, nothing at all. It was, I could breathe out, I just could not suck in air. And I was, tried to, I relaxed myself, didn't go into a panic, because if I went into a panic it would have got worse. But I relaxed myself, and after about 10 minutes or so, I felt myself getting less restricted. So whatever was in that bombing, it was 5 hours between the time I set the bomb off to the time I got home, and I opened up, as I said, I opened up the place, I opened up all the windows, and by the time I went around and opened up all the windows, I was a total mess. So theoretically, you're bloody lucky you're around, otherwise I would have been still lying beside my vehicle outside with doing a dead ant kind of thing. Yeah. It was not a good thing. I had no phone reception at all here yesterday, none at all. There's something went down with the repeater. Today it only came on around about lunchtime, so they've yeah. If I won a triple zero like there yesterday, I would have no hope. And I cannot rely on this repeater or any of the other repeaters, because you could sing your heart out on any of the other repeaters around this area and no one answers. That's including, just stand by again. That's including 950 and the wide area network. For some unknown reason, no one listens to them. There. And then some people complain because someone does listen to this one all the time. And the 70 centimeters. But the person who listens all the time was having a problem there yesterday. But anyway, no probs. What else are we going to have? Before we start the second round, I've already said enough already for the time being. Before we start the second round, anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net, VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard. Right, still going as it is, VK4 Echo Mike, VK4FAX, VK4MV and VK4IJP running order. Okay, I'll put it over to Merv. If he's there, he's there. Wait a couple of seconds. If he doesn't come in, you take it away there, Don, and I'll call him at the end of the run. VK4 Mike, Echo Mike, VK4BAD.
Yeah, Roger, I better jump in quickly. Okay, thanks Gary, VK4BAD in the group, VK4 Echo Mike. First of all, Ian, with your questions about Chatham Island, mate, I can't remember the Japanese DX or expedition that was on Chatham Island recently. I think they were only going to be there for 2 months. If you put a search on the web, you know, Chatham Island, Japanese DX group or something, it should come up. I got no idea of the call sign. And to go back through my log just now, it would be, well, I'd be here for quite a while. And I have only contacted them in digital. They have been on in voice and CW and all the modes. But I just happened to be sitting on one of the bands. I don't know what might have been 10 metres, I'm not sure. And they called CQ, and they just got set up. So, and then I've seen them, you know, on other bands as well. But I only use digital. And they've been on 6 metres as well. I think most of us around the area here worked them on 6 metres. So if you do a bit of a search there, you'll bring it up. But I did go and have a look when I seen the call sign, and that's where I got that bit of information from, but I never kept it. I just remember that it was a group from Japan that went over there, and they were going to be there for a fortnight or 3 weeks or something, and to see how many thousands of DX stations they could work. All right, I'll pass it on to Don. I'll say good evening. I'll listen till the end. I haven't had a phone call yet. So I'll catch us all before too long. Thanks for all that. And very good evening to you, Al. I don't know what's happened to you. It sounds like you might have had an accident in your vehicle. That beautiful vehicle. Don't tell me it's been, you know, put away as scrap. But it sounds like they're going to replace it with another one. VK4FAX in the group. Thanks for running the net tonight, Gary. VK4 Echo Mike, just listening.
VK4 Echo Mike, VK4FAX with the group. Yeah, thanks, Merv. Yeah, those photos you sent of the antenna set up over there on that island, yeah, absolutely amazing how they went to all that trouble. I just wonder if they left it there for the locals or not. But anyway, I'm guessing not, because it would have been quite a few dollars involved in those antennas, etc. I was going to mention something else, but it's slipped my mind now. Yeah, and I think Al, you said you had your accident on the 23rd of November. Well, that was my birthday, so a bit unfortunate for you. And let's hope they get you a replacement vehicle sooner rather than later. Yeah, lots of water around the place, especially around the area where my tanks overflow. Very, very wet when I was mowing today. And we're on the side of a hill, so it gets away reasonably easy. And it'll probably be reasonably dry tomorrow, but I also discharge via a stormwater system I put in, pick up the stuff off the driveway, and it ends up down in a fairly close proximity to where the overflow of the tank is. That probably concentrates it there, but it doesn't wash because the grass is reasonably lush there, and there's a garden bed not too far downstream of it, so it sort of doesn't do any damage. But where it runs out the driveway, off the side of the hill here, it really tears out the gravel in the crossover on the footpath. But anyway, all good. The council's been up here and started to do a bit of mowing, but where the car park is down at the bottom of the hill here, they've neglected to do anything with it. So I see people pulling in there, and you can't see the wheels of their vehicles because the grass is so high. Anyway, I suppose I'll get around to it in the next couple of days. I can't think of the other things. I should have wrote some notes down, but I didn't. VK4 Mike Victor with the group VK4FAX.
VK4FAX, the group VK4MV. Yep, thanks, Don. And yes, confirmed that it was an accident in the car, and my lovely white Navara is no more. They did eventually write it off after it got sorted with the inspection, and as we speak, the purchasing department, or the entity that they hand over to go and search for one, is merrily looking for a replacement of the same standard. So hopefully that comes good, and otherwise I'll be paying out the cash and I'll have to go and shop for it myself. But within the policy it said it under 2 years old it was replaced with a new vehicle, so if they have to stump up a little bit extra for it, that's be fine with me. And the result of it was the only injury, other than a bit of a headache and a few bruises, was the bone on the end of the radius of the right arm. That's the bone closest to the thumb. Was shattered, and had a plate and some screws put in it. I was been a little bit missing from the net at times. I've been in Brisbane for operations and therapy and all sorts of things, so it's sort of occupied the time a bit and restricted me doing quite a few things, but I'm getting back on stream. And this putty thing, it's called Theraputty, made in the USA, and has various colours for its particular density. From tan colour, it's extra soft, and I'm a third way up the list. It's supposedly red, and it's called soft, and it's about as pink as the old 1950s bodgy socks, and so it's quite interesting. And it goes up as high as extra firm, which is black, which I would reckon would probably be a nice smooth river stone, and everything melts back, but stretching and movement is good, and dexterity, and there's no numbness, so I'm happy with that. What else have we got? Yeah, that's about it for that, but yeah, it's good to see that everybody's had a little bit of rain, but not any big drama with it, but certainly making the place look green, better than it was in the middle of the year last year when everything was a brown colour. So it's got to be a great improvement. Water meter at the end of my driveway, I think it got a bit of a bump from a mower, and it shifted the pipe and it was leaking and dripping, so I came home and it was still wet even though the grass had dried out. I thought, oh, that can't be just left over from the rain, so council came and tightened it all up, so it seems to be good. So got sorted with that one. Yep, I'll have to, as soon as it dries, I'll get the mower out and get stuck into it. Righto, over to you, Ian, and good to hear that you're still getting things done, and you'll get your mower going, so love running around on the mower. VK4OJP, the group VK4, Mike Victor.
Yeah, oh, it's good, Al, that hand will be coming back stronger than what it was before. Doing all these activities, yeah, and I know you're getting pretty busy with them. Yeah, no, plenty of rain. I think we had 80 mil the other night, so it took, well, the grass is quite dry now, the ground, except for what we use as our driveway, because water is still flowing out of a Telstra box in the ground. So the water must be still coming down the street, and ours is the last box in the ground. So the water must come down the pipes, and it floods this box in the ground, and then it flows nicely down my driveway. So generally we've been driving somewhere else. So we're not using that causing any ruts in the ground. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's when we do cut it, we'll still cut it, leave it a little bit long. I have to do it twice in a week just to mulch up the grass that is cut, sort of thing. And it should be in mighty fine condition for winter. And that, I think there's a little bit of talk of rain and that this winter, so it could be quite interesting. And yeah, we haven't been getting the rain of the 2011. I suppose we don't really want that, but yeah, we're certainly getting a little bit. So and it is that time of the year, but I think this is other than 2011, this is about it. So yeah, it's just only going to happen every 12 or something years. Is there a cycle there? Anyway. No, it's all slowly happening. Into Kingaroy for some appointments tomorrow. Hopefully we're going to catch up with Eric while we're in there. And that will be good. Just a quick break as my radio was beeping away. So yeah, that's about it. So hopefully the bits will turn up tomorrow so we can mow this lawn and probably do a little bit more spraying around the place. VK4BAD in the group. This is VK4OJP.
VK4IJP, VK4BAD. No worries there, Ian. Before we close off the net, is there anyone else want to come in and say hello, goodbye, VK4BAD? Okay, nothing else heard on that lot. Okay, no worries there, Merv. Still no phone call. Yes, I just I was having a look at your email. The same as I said to Ian there today. I see that emails and that come in. Everything all comes in to here, and of course, if I take anything out, like my phone or anything outside, there's no signal outside. It all relies on an external antenna and my repeater, which is in here. Outside, there's no signal at all. So I hear all these beeps and bops and that. So when I'm outside, so I know that I get emails and all that. I quickly go and glance through things to see who sent what and where and whatever. But I don't really actually look at too many things. You know, I notice that, oh yes, Merv sent something, I'll have a look at that later, and you know, Don has sent something to me, yeah, no problems, I'll look at that later too, no probs, yep, I'll get back out and do what I got to do, you know, and then I'll actually get around to looking at the messages and emails, and then I'll answer back. If I'm in here and something comes in, I'll look at it straight away, and if it needs a not urgent reply, but if it needs a reply back, I'll reply back there and then. But you know, I'm old school. You know, it's one of those ones. You know, it's like if I get a phone call, they'll ring back if it's urgent. If not, I've got a message on my phone that I've got a missed call, and I'll do, you know, I'll do the polite thing and ring them back when I get to it, you know, and say hello. You rang me. I wasn't around. Yes, I'm returning your call. You know, or you know, so your email there. Stand by. I had a proper look at your email there just before when you mentioned it there, Merv, and yeah, the program was yesterday, so I'll have a look at it on the SBS website in the next day or two. It'll be up on the SBS, you know, look back on, you know, thing program, whatever they call it. You know, iView on the ABC and that. So I just, or you know, those 7+ ones, I just go onto those and I just watch. You know, I'm not really worried if I miss a program. I just go onto their site and I'll watch it in my own time. But yeah, it looks interesting, or it looked interesting. So I'll hop on later on tonight or tomorrow, whenever I remember it again. And I'll pop up and watch the program again. And that, as I said, I'm old school. If I get a message, yeah, okay, I hear the message. Oh yeah, so and so, and I'll reply if I have to. You know, or that kind of stuff. But I do get it. I do read them. It's only not usually on the same time as when they come in. As I said, you know, emails are like you know, like the messages. You know, okay, there was an email come in today. Yeah, I'm going to. Oh, so and so sent in that one as well. Okay, I'll have to have a look at that too. Messages, yes. As I said, if I hear a phone call and I'm doing something and I can't quite get to it, because no use rushing to the phone to get to it, because by the time I get to it, they've hung up. And so I don't rush on anything. If it's got a number, if they left their phone number there, or if they're a private number, well, too bad. They got to ring me back if it was important, because you can't ring back a private number. But if there's a number attached to it, I'll usually 9 out of 10 times I'll ring them back, just as courtesy. But no probs. Okay, stand by. Okay, with that one there, we haven't really got much information on the repeater or anything like that. I haven't heard anything of what's happening. I know that somewhere between now and March, it will be up and running. So I'm just working on those kind of dates. I'll find out more at the same time as you do at the meeting. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. You've just been watching or listening to VK4BAD BADnet, or been involved with it. Good evening also to the shortwave listeners. This is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. I'll now change back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. Until the same time next week, this is VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo. We'll say 7-3 for the time being, and we'll catch us all again the same time next week. VK4GRB out.